Hi Sagis, how are you guys doing? How was your day so far? I had a packed day, like super packed, alright? But I'm here, I did not forget about you at all, right? Been thinking about you and been so excited for today's reading. So, welcome to Sagittarius Tarot and welcome to your daily oracle reading. Today we are 18th of October 2023, which if we reduce to a single digit, we get the number 8, which is one day before the last day of the 9-day cycle. And so the 8th day is all about death and rebirth. It's all about metamorphosis. It's all about deep, intense stuff, right? Like inside of you that sometimes you can't access. It's everything that's buried deep down inside, all right? The good and the bad, right? And so, yeah, I mean, it's got to be really a cathartic type of day. So I don't know if that day already happened for you or it's going to happen depending on where you are in the globe. But yeah, it's ought to be like in the least, let's say transformational. All right. I'm going to be picking for you a oracle card from the Animal Voices Oracle. All right, let's see what you get. Nice. All right. I see the blue energy is continuing. You remember yesterday's card, the inner earth, which was the shift in the energy of the blue. So here we are, outside of the inner earth, flying. All right. Very, very, very interesting. First, let's talk numbers, right? So this card is number 15, and so that's a 6. And if we combine 8 and 6 to a single digit, we reduce them, we get a 5. But before we do that, 8 plus 6 is 14. And I gotta mention 14 because it's a karmic number. So whatever's going on, you cannot not let it happen, right? Like it is supposed to happen no matter what that is. And so combined 1 plus 4 equals 5, and 5 is a day of creation. So we're going to talk about creation in a little bit. How does that translate also with this card? Let's see. This card says faith, journey, and hope. Let's dive deeper into it. True to an 8 number. Let's go deep, deep. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, you flew, right, outside the inner earth. So this card is telling me that you probably accessed your inner earth yesterday. You accessed all that, you pondered, you took all that energy and resources that you needed from it and are out there on your adventure. Now, this first talks about a journey. First and foremost, it's a journey, okay? And so it's a journey of faith and hope, according to this card, which really, really, really matches the energy of yesterday, when the loss happened and the dust settled and destruction happened and you decided to create. And so you remembered you got access to your inner earth, and you got all these resources from it, and you don't know where you're going still, but you know that there's something next in that journey. And so let's talk first about the albatross as a bird. It's really like one of these like huge migrant birds, and so it has these like very, very, very big wings, and it can do like, I don't know like scientifically how many miles exactly, but it can fly, right? Like, let me tell you, it can fly high and very, very far. And so the way it does that is that, it got a flap like when it's taken off and when it's landing. But most of the cruise is like cruise control sort of thing, just sets the speed, open the wings, and then just let the winds do their thing, and it carries the bird through continents and continents across all its journey. So first, this is a long journey we're talking about, since this is a migrant bird. So wherever you're headed, embrace yourself. It ain't going to be like a short trip, but it will be a memorable one, an interesting one, and a fun one, right? Because what this focuses on also, like if you look at this bird's life, most of its life is actually going from one place. Like most of the hours it spends is migrating, is going from one place to another. And so this tells me that the energy here emphasizes on the fact that the journey is as important as the destination. You know, like once you get to your destination, a big and huge part of everything was that journey unfolding and what you spent in it and how you experienced it and how you enjoyed it and what you got from it. Life happened. Most of your life happens during the journey. Not the destinations are like the moments, like the highlights, the key moments in the life, but it's all of that journey that came before it. And I think now would be a good time to read for you the affirmation associated with this card. And it says, repeat with me before we explain it. I spend more energy landing and taking off than when I am in the air. I spend more energy landing and taking off than when I am in the air. I spend more energy landing and taking off than when I am in the air. And so this talks about how sometimes it feels like it's a lot of effort for you to take off, whether this is preparing for a trip, even holidays. You know, you got packing and tickets and hotels and destination and research and all that stuff, right? And then once you're in the airplane or whatever, like you're just, you know, cruising. And so whether this is taking off a relationship, you've got to put in all the works. Whether this is take off to a new business venture, or you're trying something new, or you're learning something new, and there's a learning curve. That's the journey. All of these things, like examples illustrate how much like energy you've got to put in the taking off. And so also the landing, or like whenever you arrive to the destination, which usually also takes a lot of effort. You know, where there's like not much going on is when you're up in the air. And that's the beauty. That's a big part of the journey that like one should never forget or take for granted. It's when you're on cruise control and things are like seamless, sorry, excuse me, and nice. And so that's a big chunk of the life, and that's a big chunk of the journey. And so that's why faith and hope are essential components to whenever you're taking off a journey of this magnitude. Because when you're putting all this energy in the takeoff and also in the landing, you have got to have faith and hope. You've got to have faith that this is going to get me somewhere when you take off. And the landing is like, I'm gonna land safely on my feet, right? And so you've got to have faith, you've got to have hope, hence the color white. In the midst of all this blue, like even yesterday, remember there was like remnants of purple and all that fire energy in the inner earth, like reminding us of the old chapter. It's gone now. I mean, you can see some like sort of purple brown shades around his wings, but you know, not really. And so yeah, you're deep in the ocean now. You know, imagine like you're cruising in the ocean in the middle of anything, you don't see land, so you wonder, will I ever see land? So you gotta have faith and hope, right? Something else is like during flight, right? When it comes to birds, at least, is like you shouldn't go against the wind. So the how these migrant birds fly is that they like they just steer their wings in order their wings in order to harness the power of the wind and use it to their advantage to get to their destination. Because if they go against it, that's a losing battle. All right. Well, as we're exploring this, I chose for you a quote from Walt Whitman that I would love to read it for you. It says, keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. How fitting is this quote that I randomly chose for the day? How fitting it is. Really, the power of like randomness. Is it really random? Is it synchronicity? Was I supposed to say this? Yeah. So, really, keep your face always toward the sunshine. So, this talks about faith, hope. Look at the face of the bird, white, toward the destination, toward like sky. And shadows will fall behind you. The shadows will fall behind you. Your old chapter will fall behind you. Your old struggles will fall behind you. Your old life will fall behind you. That old version of yourself will fall behind you. Everything you ever knew that you didn't like will fall behind you. You just gotta keep your face always toward the sunshine, even if you cannot see the end destination where you're gonna land. Right? Just have faith and hope. And so faith and hope are really essential in the taking off and in the landing. But please remember, please remember, once whatever it is you're creating, whether it's a job, a business, a passion, a relationship, a move, migration, anything, promise me that once you're up in the air and flying and cruising, to just, soak it all in. Don't take it for granted. And everything that happens in that phase is the process, it's the journey. Because once you get to your destination, you're there. It's pretty and everything, but, a big chunk is the process. So, yeah, I want you to enjoy it. If you look at the sky in this card, you can see some scatters of like white stuff, which might tell me, and like sometimes there's like dark clouds, which tells me that like the journey isn't always, crystal clear blue. So there's like white, there's black, there's things going on. And so, just like when you're flying, sometimes you gotta go through like wind bumps and stuff like that. The plane, how it like shakes and everything. So do these birds that sometimes like would go through a wind current or etc. And so it's going to be really, really interesting. But I'm really feeling good about this, because ever since we started doing these readings, ever since I created this channel, the cards have been telling a story that like, you cannot deny like how much it makes sense and how much it's connected and how much it's also progressing. Wow. Really baffled. Alrighty then. Thank you for watching today's video, and thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for sharing and spreading the word about me. Thank you for all your subscriptions. I really need them, and I need a lot of watch hours, to keep things sustainable. Because the taking off takes a lot of energy. So yeah, thank you. Stay blessed, aligned, and connected. This was Sagittarius Tarot, and until tomorrow, I'll see you. I love you a lot. Best of luck with everything, and I'll release the shorts soon.